Good morning, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast with me, Kosi, and of course don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Hit the notification bell as well besides the subscribe button so that you can actually get the latest in the world of sport around Arsenal, only Arsenal news. So if you want news of Tottenham Hotspur, check out Expressions Oozing. If you want United, you can check out the United stand, but this is only Arsenal news updates. Now, guys, good news, very good news for Arsenal this week. We might announce three players. This is one of the biggest weeks that is ever going to happen at the Emirates Stadium. 3 players in 1 week. Just stay tuned to the Arsenal podcast by subscribing, obviously. Now, I want us to talk about Gabriel Magalhães. We're going to be talking about Dani Ceballos, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Those are the very close deals that are going to join Arsenal. Partey, Aouar, and of course how Arsenal is going to raise the money to get Partey and Aouar, because that is the main concern of today's LA Arsenal paper talk. Why don't we start right away? I'll start with Gabriel Magalhães. Yesterday he was announced as an Arsenal player. Ghana's flying all over the place. I think it's one of my videos that are really doing so well. You can check it out. It is it's around 6,000 views now. So I think Ghanaians were really happy about Gabriel Magalhães. We have so many hopes in him. When he was doing his first interview, and I want to quote him. He said that he was called by Edu and Mikel Arteta, and they told him they have a lot of trust in him. They have a big project. They are building an Arsenal. That is what they told Gabriel Magalhães, and maybe the fans who also asked him to join the club that forced him to come to Arsenal. So, guys, congratulations. We signed Gabriel Magalhães. I don't think there is something more to add to that. He's a wonderful defender, 22 years of age, £25 million confirmed. That's the money we shall be paying to Lille. And of course, I think with add-ons it will stretch out to £27 million. Big news. Now, another big news is that Dani Ceballos is set to complete his move to Arsenal this week. Now, the announcement had to take place today, but it might not actually happen. According to David Ornstein and Charles Watts, there are some things that have to be done before Dani Ceballos can be announced as a Arsenal player. But trust me, this week, Dani Ceballos is also going to be announced as a Arsenal player on loan, a season-long loan. We are going to be paying some loan fee and, of course, covering his wages. That is the agreement we have with the club itself, Real Madrid. But very soon we are going to be announcing Dani Ceballos. Aubameyang as well, his deal is over, done and dusted. He's also waiting for a club official announcement. Yesterday ESPN brought out a story that was really scary when they say that what if Aubameyang doesn't sign a new contract? Does that mean that he's close to an exit? Trust me, the truth is Arsenal has secured a signature of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he is going to stay, according to all the sources. Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein and Charles Watts, they are saying that we are just waiting for the official announcement from Arsenal. It's just delayed, just like the Gabriel, Gabriel announcement delayed. But it is what it is. Aubameyang is going to sign for Arsenal, and of course, it's going to be announced very soon. Let us get into the Partey and Aouar talk, because that is what's more interesting today. Now, after signing Gabriel Magalhães, Willian, Aubameyang, and of course Dani Ceballos, Arsenal still needs to strengthen their midfield, and they're looking very keen to get in 2 more midfielders in the central midfield and the attacking positions. That is according to David Ornstein. Today he tweeted something very interesting, and he said this is how Arsenal is going to buy Partey and Aouar at the same time. First and foremost, Arsenal are in talks to sell off Hector Bellerin at £25 million to the club itself, PSG. Club talks are in intensive, in advanced stage, and of course we expect the player to join PSG at £25 million. PSG has been in contact with Arsenal, I think, for the whole of last week, trying to sign him. They wanted Magalhães, but Arsenal never really tried to give them Magalhães. Now PSG want Hector Bellerin. Bayern are also interested in the services of Hector Bellerin as well as Juventus, but I think we shall sell him to PSG because they have shown more interest. They have bidded, they have already brought in their bids, and I think it's decent money. 25 million pounds is decent money. Torreira is heading to Fiorentina. Fiorentina have accepted. They are going to pay the 30 million valuation in Lucas Torreira and take him back to Italy. So that is already 55 million from Torreira and Bellerin. And Socrates is also going to be joining Napoli at 4.5 million. So you can add up, you guys, and see that is already 60 million pounds of on the table for Arsenal to spend. Now, Thomas Partey, yesterday, of course, it was confirmed that the player wants to play for Arsenal and everything, but the money was the problem. Now, the funds have been got after selling Torreira and Hector Bellerin. Arsenal will have secured the funds to get Thomas Partey in this transfer window. So there is no reason as to why Arsenal will fail to get Thomas Partey. So that is the latest Arsenal to get Thomas Partey funds by selling Hector Bellerin and Thomas Partey. We are still waiting for that. And then David Ornstein today has confirmed that Arsenal are in talks with Aouar and Lyon to get the player done. We sent in a bid. It hasn't been it has not been accepted yet, but still it hasn't been rejected. So according to David Ornstein, we are still looking at Partey, but we are in discussions with Lyon to get the man himself, Houssem Aouar, who would cost us around 60 million pounds. But of course, after selling Hector Bellerin, Torreira, Socrates, I think it's going to be very easy for us to get the money. Even minus selling Alexander Lacazette, who I think might not stay, but he is very much needed at the club. So guys, that is what I have for you this morning. Inter Milan are taking out Vidal. So that means they may not actually go for Thomas Partey, as we had earlier, learned about. Partey wants Arsenal. That's the biggest news. He is the next player to come to Arsenal, and I want us to be very patient. Partey is coming soon. Torreira, Hector Bellerin, Socrates are all heading out, plus Kolasinac. Ozil is one of the other players who could actually be on his way out of Arsenal. And of course, we are in talks and contacts with Houssem Aouar after signing Gabriel Magalhães on a 5-year deal. I'll come back later and we talk about more transfer news. Good morning. That is the Arsenal transfer, the Arsenal Ali Paper Talk.